Here, in this beautiful and rugged country, lay the ruins of a great keep, Clun Castle. Established after the Norman invasion when Robert de Say, a Norman baron, seized Clun Manor and its lands from Anglo-Saxon Edric the Wild, building a substantial motte and two-bailey castle in its place. The remains that you see here today are of a castle that stood 80 feet tall and 68 by 42 feet wide, bearing similarities to other such buildings like the ones at Albury, Bridgnorth and Hopton. And as well as having certain French influences, it belonged largely to the FitzAlan family, a familiar name indeed, and it has a lot of history to it.
Now, after Robert de Say had finished his conquering and his building, he kept this place safe up until his death in 1098. It was after that that his children and his descendants were charged with the duty of keeping this place safe too. It went through the rebellion of Shrewsbury in 1102, where his children kept it safe thereafter directly from the crown. Now, Robert de Say's daughter actually married a local Welsh lord, Cadogan ap Ledin, who came to Clun in 1109 after being forced out of Powys. But it was Henry de Say, the son, who actually inherited the castle after Robert died. And then when time came, it was Henry's son Elias that inherited the castle and took over. Now during Elias's time, he actually went through a lot and protected the castle, not only during the time of the Anarchy Civil War. This was important because the castle was a key fortification, more specifically due to the Welsh attacks that were happening since the rebellion in Wales in 1094. Now, in response to these attacks, Henry I actually helped Elias by implementing a new guard system which charged a force of knights with the castle's protection. Interestingly enough, I found out that Elias de Say is actually an early benefactor of Halmond Abbey. Now, in the time of Henry II, Elias's daughter Isabella actually married the Lord of Oswestry and High Sheriff of Shropshire, William FitzAlan. Now there's a familiar name. It was actually by way of this marriage that ownership and control of the castle was handed over to William FitzAlan in 1155, where it remained with the FitzAlan family for the next 400 years. Now, as far as I can tell, it was William and Isabella who had a son, William FitzAlan II, although I did find evidence of Isabella marrying twice after William FitzAlan's death. But it was William FitzAlan II who took control of this castle and is actually responsible for the normal style keep we see here today. Now, when I say the normal style keep, he actually had some sort of influence of his own, with it being the defensive round towers he integrated into his design after spending some time with Richard I while Chateau Gaillard was being built. And he's also responsible for the off-centre design, which is also similar to Guildford Castle. Now, whilst building this place, he built it not only for security, but for a life of luxury, and I, for one, would have loved to have seen it in all its glory.
When William died in 1210, his son, another William FitzAlan, was set to inherit the castle and its lands, but unfortunately, King John demanded the huge sum of 10,000 marks to receive the inheritance, and when he couldn't pay, the lands were given to Thomas of Erdington. Sadly, William died shortly after in 1215. Clun and its castle then became the focus of attention and hostilities between William's brother, John FitzAlan, and the Crown, with them both taking up arms and trying to retain control of the castle. Eventually, though, John FitzAlan came to an understanding with King John's successor, Henry III, and in 1217, after having paid the 10,000 marks fine, the castle was returned to the family's control. But not long after, however, the castle was garrisoned by the king's men, shortly before a failed attack by Llewellyn the Great in 1233, which left Clun itself almost completely destroyed. The castle went through numerous members of the FitzAlan family, with one of them gaining the title of the Earl of Arundel, and with Edward I's invasion of Wales in the 1280s, the threat from the Welsh was reduced, taking away the need for a long-term fortification such as Clun Castle. Then, with the family acquiring access to Arundel Castle through marriage, Clun Castle was transformed into a hunting lodge.
Now, in the years following the castle's transformation, the castle changed hands. This was because Richard II executed Richard FitzAlan, and the lands were removed from the FitzAlan family and handed over to the Duke of York. But when Richard II fell, the FitzAlan family had their lands restored to them. Near enough in the 16th century, the castle had achieved a ruined status and was near enough abandoned completely by the English Civil War. It saw no military action and continued to fall into ruin. But it was by 1894 that the Duke of Norfolk, a descendant of the original FitzAlan family, purchased this site and instigated a program of conservation in order to stabilise the castle's condition, where it's been managed by English Heritage. What a treat.
Just being here has been a joy. The drive here, although very lengthy, is so worth it. Because along the way, some of the sights you get to see are so beautiful. Just so you can stand here on this hill, so full of history and so very, very beautiful. I try to imagine what it would have been like to live here back then. And I suppose I'd like to live here now if I had the chance. But just look at all of this beauty and all of this history right here at our fingertips. It was cold, it was windy and it was wet, but I don't regret coming here at all. I don't regret a minute of it. Not the research, nothing. My God. Just look at that. But even though it's time to leave, I can't help but look back over my shoulder at that great sight. And as ruined as it may be, that's still one hell of a view. Such a pleasure to have been here. thank you for sharing this with me, and thanks for watching. See you next time.